अस्सलाम वालेकुम। वेलकम टू डिजिटल फ्यूचर एआई स्कूल, जहां हम फ्यूचर की टेक्नोलॉजी आज सीखते हैं। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज़ नो लॉन्गर साइंस फिक्शन, इट इज़ शेपिंग economies, transforming societies, and redefining what it means to be human. But the real question is not how powerful AI will become. The real question is how wisely humanity will use it. In this final chapter of our AI journey, authored by Mr. Zaheer Ahmad Meer, we explore the most critical topic of the 21st century. How can humans and AI coexist in balance, ethics, and harmony without losing our identity, dignity, and moral foundations? This is not just about machines, this is about humanity's future. Let's begin.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Digital Future AI School. If you're finding value in our content, please do subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Today, we are diving into episode 23, and it's a big one. We're explaining the profound final chapter of Mr. Zaheer Ahmad Meer's book, AI, Your Smartest Partner in Life and Work, which really tackles the most critical question of our time. What's the road ahead for humanity and AI? So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the two-sided nature of AI's future. Then, we'll get into the foundational principle that humans have to stay in charge. After that, we'll explore three essential pillars for a safe coexistence. We'll then look at a practical roadmap for all of us. And we'll wrap up with a really powerful idea, that AI is basically a mirror reflecting us. All right, first things first, let's set the stage. The book makes it clear that artificial intelligence isn't just another cool piece of technology. No, it's being framed as the single most defining force of the 21st century. But, and this is a huge but, that force can push in two very, very different directions.
And this really gets to the heart of the dilemma. You've got this incredible potential, this power to uplift entire nations, empower individuals, and fast-forward scientific discovery. But the other side of that coin? AI could also be used to destabilize societies, totally distort our sense of reality, and chip away at our core human values. It is the ultimate double-edged sword.
So, this leads us to the central question of this whole chapter, and you could argue of our entire era. How do we actually do this? How do we navigate this future and build a partnership with this powerful technology without losing ourselves in the process? So, where do we start? The author proposes one single foundational principle that is completely non-negotiable. No matter how smart AI gets, no matter how capable it becomes, humanity must always, always remain in charge. Now, you hear this narrative all the time, right? This idea that the genie is out of the bottle, that AI is just too powerful and we're helpless. The author directly takes on this fear and says, point blank, this is false. It's a myth. We built this tool, and we absolutely have the power and the responsibility to steer it.
So our role doesn't shrink. If anything, it becomes way more important. We have to be the designers, the final decision makers, the guardians of our values. We're the regulators, the ethical compass, and the ultimate authority. AI can assist, but it should never, ever be in command.
And here's why that's so critical. Look at what AI does brilliantly. It can predict, calculate, generate, and analyze information at a scale we can't even imagine. But then look at what it fundamentally cannot do. It can't feel compassion. It can't show courage. It can't find meaning in life or exercise real moral judgment. Those things are ours.
Let's just double-click on that human spark for a second. We're talking about things like conscience, spiritual insight, love.
The future doesn't belong to AI alone, and it doesn't belong to humans who turn their backs on technology. Nope, the winning formula, the real sweet spot, is combining the incredible speed of AI with our timeless human wisdom. That's the partnership that wins. Okay, so how do we actually make that happen? The author gives us a really clear framework. He calls it the three pillars of coexistence. Think of this as the blueprint for building that safe and balanced future we're all hoping for. The three pillars are balance, boundaries, and benevolence. They sound simple, but they're incredibly powerful. Each one is a crucial piece of the puzzle for making sure AI serves humanity and not the other way around. Let's break them down. First up is balance. This is all about a smart division of labor. Let AI do what it does best. Handle the repetitive tasks, the heavy-duty calculations, the automation. That frees us humans up to focus on what we do best: leadership, wrestling with complex moral questions, and setting the long-term vision. Next, we have boundaries, and this one is absolutely critical. There have to be hard, ethical lines in the sand that we agree AI will never cross. We're talking about banning fully autonomous lethal weapons, preventing AI-driven mass manipulation, and protecting people from things like emotional exploitation and the misuse of deepfakes. These are the no-go zones. And the third pillar is benevolence. Now, this goes beyond just preventing harm. This is a mandate that says AI must be actively designed and used for good. Its core purpose should be to serve humanity, to uplift the vulnerable, expand justice, improve healthcare, and reduce suffering around the world. To guide these pillars, the author suggests a moral compass that draws from universal principles found in Islamic tradition. Concepts like haq for truth, adl for justice, amana for trust, hikmah for wisdom, and rahmah for compassion. These provide a timeless ethical foundation to make sure AI development stays aligned with our deepest human values.
Okay, so we have the philosophy and the framework. That's great. But now let's get down to brass tacks. How do we actually build this future? The book lays out a clear roadmap with actionable steps for every single level of society.
So for you and me as individuals, it's a two-pronged approach. First, we need to get AI literate. Learn how to use these tools. Learn about prompting, about automation. But just as important, we have to double down on our uniquely human skills: empathy, critical thinking, leadership. And we have to be disciplined. Use AI as a tool, not as a crutch.
Now, on a national level, governments have a massive responsibility. They need to create smart, strong regulations. They need to educate the public, invest in AI safety research, and build ethical governance frameworks. The countries that manage to combine that drive for innovation with a strong moral foundation, those are going to be the leaders of tomorrow.
And finally, this has to be a global effort. We can't afford an AI arms race. That would be a disaster for everyone. The only way forward is through international cooperation, working together on safety research, preventing misuse, and establishing clear, binding agreements on the really dangerous stuff, like autonomous weapons. And this brings us to the powerful conclusion of the entire chapter. The author argues that we should stop thinking of AI as some kind of alien force that's just happening to us. Instead, we need to see it for what it really is. It's a mirror. So the impact of AI isn't predetermined. It's a direct consequence of the choices we make. If we make sure to guide it with wisdom, with ethics, with compassion, then it will become an incredible force for good. But if we choose the path of greed, or ego, or just plain carelessness, it will amplify those same destructive qualities right back at us. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? AI is a tool of amplification. It takes our intentions, our values, our biases, all of it, and it scales them up. The big question we have to ask ourselves is, what do we want it to amplify? And so we end on this final, powerful question. The destiny of our world is not in the hands of some algorithm or some machine. It's in our hands. It will be defined by the wisdom, the foresight, and the morality of the people creating and using this technology. The choice, ultimately, is ours. What will we choose?